Hi, my name's Anastasia. I'm the Dog Tooth Fairy. I'm a UK independent Emmi-Pet distributor, and I'm just doing a little video for you all, for any of you pet professionals out there that might be interested in adding the Emmi-Pet toothbrush to your business in order to increase your clients and also increase your income. So if you just bear with me, I'm just going to pop up my screen here. This is how to get started with Emmi-Pet teeth cleaning and adding it to your pet business. So like I've mentioned, my name's Anastasia. I'm one of the UK's leading Emmi-Pet distributors. I've worked with animals my entire career. So over the years of my career, I have worked in zoos. I've worked in many different veterinary practices. I've worked in boarding kennels. I also worked for 12 years as an animal management lecturer. And also an animal technician at a college in the Lake District. And I have also run my own grooming business, and I did that for 7 years. So yeah, I've got quite a broad spectrum of animal career experience. But I've got my own two little baby dogs. I've got Rocco and Winnie at home. So I haven't got a massive menagerie. I've just got my two, but they're enough, quite frankly. Having them two dogs is quite a lot. They are a little bit extra. So I've got Rocco and Winnie. So it is Rocco is my little Chihuahua mix, and then I've got Winnie, who's a little smooth-haired Dachshund, and they're just lush. They're the reason that I got into Emmi-Pet in the first place. Like I say, I used to be a dog groomer. Had my own salon for 7 years, and it was during my dog grooming time that I actually discovered the Emmi-Pet toothbrush. Now, this was around about 2017 when I first seen the Emmi-Pet toothbrush, and first got the idea in my head to add it to my pet business. I'm now an Emmi-Pet distributor, and I'm super, super passionate about helping pet professionals earn more money by cleaning dogs' teeth. And there is me on the little trade stand at Crufts, which is something I do every year and I absolutely love. So for all you dog groomers out there, I'm talking to you because this is the background that I came from, and any pet professionals in general. But I'm going to talk about dog grooming because it was my background. Dog grooming can be one of the most rewarding jobs out there. You know, you get your amazing days where all the dogs are really well behaved. You trim the hair and they all look amazing, and they're skipping out the salon and the owners are really happy, and you're like, yes, this is the best job in the world. It can also be one of the toughest jobs out there, psychologically, emotionally. You know, there's a lot of things that dog groomers have to deal with. You might get dogs in that are matted, that are welfare cases, where your heart breaks for these dogs. You know, you get the dogs coming in covered in fleas. You get the clients that don't appreciate your skill set and your work, and they devalue what you're doing. They say that you're too expensive, or they don't want to pay the price. You know, there's some days where you can be really, really drained by the dog grooming, because it's not just grooming the dogs and what you do in the day-to-day working of the business. All the other stuff that you have to do around that, all of the admin, all of the paperwork, all of your bookkeeping, and then you get like clients no showing, and it can just be really, really stressful. You know, we all go and want to work with animals because maybe sometimes humans stress us out, but we do work with animals, and we've still got that human element where we have to work with the humans and we have to deal with those things. So it can be really stressful as well. So like I say, I spotted the Emmi-Pet back in 2017. It was at Master Groom up in Scotland, and I actually seen it, and I didn't take the plunge then and there. I sat on the idea for a good 12 months before I got my first toothbrush. And the reason for that was mainly due to the price. It was a couple of £100 for the toothbrush, and I thought, should I get it? Should I not? Can I afford it? Because being a dog groomer, living on my own and having my own town centre salon and an employee, everything always felt a bit hand to mouth sometimes. So I didn't feel confident enough to take the plunge on the toothbrush, and I sat with the idea for a good 12 months. I needn't have worried at all, because when I introduced the toothbrush to my business in 2018, my little first toothbrush made me £750 in its first month, and it made me £8,000 in its first year. So I was pretty blown away that this little thing here had made me so much money. Sorry, my dogs are barking downstairs. Bearing in mind, I'm from a Northumberland rural town, as you can probably tell by my accent, there's not a lot of money in my area. So to make £8,000 extra in that first year on top of my usual grooming sort of income, that was amazing to me. I didn't have to put too much extra time in the diary for the Emmi-Pet. I would just do it at the start part and at the end part of the day. I don't know what my dogs are barking at. There's no one out there. It's just typical accent. I'm going to keep going with it anyway, because if I keep stopping and re-recording this, it's just going to be a nightmare. I've already done a few takes to get to this point. So the cash injection really, really helped in my business so much, because obviously I had an employee. There's lots of outgoings associated with the business. So if somebody turns around to you and says, you know, how would you like a £750 a month pay rise? Like, yes, please. That's a bit of a no-brainer. So yeah, that extra cash into my business really, really helped me massively. I loved the toothbrush so much, and the results that I was seeing, that I became a distributor the following year. And I literally used that as a side hustle to make extra money on top of my grooming business, which was another way of making money and another income stream for me. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the toothbrush and how it works. So you can see on the picture there is the Emmi-Pet toothbrush, which is this. It is just a green toothbrush. So you've got generation 1 and generation 2. This one that I've got here is the second generation. It's the darker green coloured toothbrush. When it's on, it doesn't make a noise, it doesn't vibrate, it's completely silent. And if I had £1 for every client that bought a toothbrush off me and went, well, it's not working, it is working as long as the green light's on there, okay? So it's totally silent, doesn't vibrate, doesn't make a noise, makes it perfect for dogs that are nervous maybe of having their teeth cleaned in the traditional way, where you've got to manually brush from side to side. It uses ultrasonic technology and ultrasonic waves, and those work beneath the gum line to reduce the bacteria living in the dog's mouth. And it's the bacteria that causes the plaque and the tartar to form. So if you can reduce that bacteria, then you're going to be reducing all of the plaque buildup, the tartar buildup, which then leads on to all of your gum issues and your dental health issues. So it promotes a healthier, happier dog. So dental health is super, super important. Bacteria living in the mouth is not good for the dog. So if you've got plaque and tartar sitting on the gum line, that plaque and tartar is constantly leaching into the dog's digestive tract. It affects the gut, it can pass around the body. All of this bacteria can cause all sorts of problem, and because the dog's body's having to work so much harder to sort of for the immune system to fight against that, then it can actually cause a lot of problems with the dog in its body. I'm not going to go too much into it because that's another lesson for another day, and I do offer Emmi-Pet training as well to cover everything in a lot more depth so that you understand it better. But this super duper brush is a lot more high performing than your ordinary toothbrush, because it will actually the ultrasonic waves get underneath the gum line and clean all the nooks and crannies and crevices of the teeth, which your ordinary toothbrush doesn't. So benefits of adding Emmi-Pet to your business, it helps to improve your dog's overall health and well-being. So that gets a big tick from me. You will see an increase in your clients because obviously you're offering that extra service. So if you've just set up a grooming business and you may be wanting to really sort of reel the clients in, magnetize them in, you will get clients coming in for, say, dog grooming, but then they're like, oh, they do teeth cleaning as well. So they're coming for 2 services. That's going to be a longer appointment slot. It's going to mean more money for you. But obviously, as well, you're going to be able to attract the dogs to your business that maybe wouldn't come for grooming. So your short-haired breeds and, French bulldogs, pugs, maybe Labradors, dogs that traditionally wouldn't come to the groomers a lot. They might come in because you've got the teeth cleaning. So that's like a real benefit as well to offer in the Emmi-Pet. Increased revenue. So as I've already mentioned, you can make a lot more money in less time with the Emmi-Pet toothbrush. So the Emmi-Pet service is a lot quicker than dog grooming. So you can get more clients through your doors in less time, and you can make more money, which means more time and freedom for yourself. You can set yourself apart from other local pet businesses. So if they're not offering the Emmi-Pet and you are, you might get clients traveling from further afield to come to you. And I've seen this myself. I had clients traveling from sort of 20 minutes away to get to me, sometimes 30 minutes, 35 minutes away. And they'd come, and I did have, not that I'm one for wanting to poach the groomer's business, but someone came from half an hour away, and they would still go to their groomers for the grooming and come to me for the teeth cleaning. But eventually they decided to come to me for the grooming as well because it was easier. So you can widen your client base as well. And obviously you can impress your clients with incredible results, which is what we want. Now here's just a little video to show you how Emmi-Pet works, just to give you a bit more of an understanding.
Healthy teeth are important for your dog, of course, because your animal does not talk about a toothache. Actually, it doesn't speak much at all. But let's take a closer look. Your dog absorbs over 80% of all bacteria via the muzzle, and many of these little rascals can do quite a lot of damage here. You need a trained eye to see if your darling is missing something. But if your dog is a little mouth stinker, then that is a clear indication that everything is not okay. Before such nasty things as tartar or an inflammation in the mouth arise, you can do the same for your dog as you do for yourself. Clean regularly. Your dog doesn't like to have its teeth scrubbed, you'd think? This is no longer a problem. With the Emmi-Pet ultrasonic toothbrush, you can clean your dog's teeth without noise or vibration. Your dog remains completely chilled and can be cleaned without gritted chompers. The patented ultrasound in the brush head and a toothpaste enriched with microbubbles ensure gentle cleaning. The ultrasound implodes the microbubbles on the teeth, absolutely harmless. This creates a suction effect that removes plaque and impurities on the teeth. These microbubbles are up to 100 times smaller than a plaque bacterium. As a result, they penetrate everywhere into the gaps and smallest hairline cracks in the enamel, in order to clean more deeply, effectively and gently there. Completely without scrubbing. Emmi-Pet. So tame, it's wild. The ultrasonic toothbrush for your dog.
So I hope that video explains it a little bit better of how it works and how it differs from a traditional manual toothbrush that you might use on your dog. This is just another Emmi-Pet video just to show how you can introduce the Emmi-Pet gradually to dogs in your pet business, and how they can become quite relaxed of having this treatment done. Right, so this is a question that I do get asked. I do get asked this question, by a few people. Is there a market for this? Okay, so this is a genuine question that I do get asked. And what I would say to anybody that asks me that is 85% of dogs have some form of dental health problem by the time they get to the age of 3. And there's an estimated 12 million dogs in the UK today. And that number keeps growing and growing. Every single one of them dogs needs help with their dental care and maintenance. So why on earth would there not be a market for this? I've seen it myself in my own pet business, but I see it every day with my clients. They add the Emmi-Pet, like, oh my God, why did I not do this ages ago? I'm making so much more money. I love doing the teeth cleaning. It's so much easier for me than the grooming. I've actually had some dog groomers that say that they would love to just do the teeth cleaning all day long if they could. And I've supplied clients where they just do teeth cleaning and that's all that they do. Emmi-Pet's a really well-known brand and it's a really popular service to offer with your pet clients today. And clients are becoming more and more mindful of this service and they're starting to ask for it more and more. So how much can you earn? This is the really important thing that we need to know about. So averagely, you can earn 50 to £100 an hour with the Emmi-Pet teeth cleaning. I made nowhere near this when I was grooming dogs, but with the teeth cleaning, I made really good money and it was a really good cash injection for my business. It's very little overheads or cost or outlay to yourself. So typically, if you buy one of my starter packages, you can make your return on your investment. So you actually break even after your first 5 clients, which is nothing really in the grand scheme of things. You could see those first 5 clients in the first week. It can be very easy to achieve that in your first week with the right marketing and with a solid client base. So anybody that purchases a kit off me or training, you get my unlimited aftercare and support and my help and advice. So the main thing is I do cover marketing in my training course, and it's important to get your marketing out there and get the message out there so that your clients know that you're offering this super duper service. But it's quite easy to make money off the Emmi-Pet in a pet business. Do you need to complete a training course? So I often get asked, do I need to be qualified to brush dogs' teeth? The answer to that is no. So although you don't need a formal qualification at the moment and it's an unregulated industry, training is advised. So I include training with most of my starter sets, and this is just so that any pet professionals can hit the ground running with the new service. They know how to achieve those results. They know how to attract the clients. They know how to manage the client's expectations, communicate with the clients, to set the correct appointments and the time frames and the duration and frequency of the sessions, and also to have a really sound knowledge of canine dental health as well. It's just there to help you feel more confident, to help you succeed, and for my unlimited aftercare and guidance as well, so that I'm holding your hand every step of the way and you don't feel alone with it all. So with that as well, I'm a UK stockist of the Emmi-Pet toothbrush. I supply Emmi-Pet starter kits and training to suit everyone's pocket. So I have got many different ways to pay on my website because, like I said, when I first got the Emmi-Pet toothbrush, I could not afford it and it had to go on a credit card for me. But my risk paid off within the first month. I'd paid for my toothbrush 2.5 times over, so I was not worried at all, and I'm not worried about my clients either, because I know that if they take the leap and make that investment, they're going to see the return on that really, really quickly. But I know that people don't always have the money for these things, so that's why I've got Klarna PayPal and Stripe on the website. So there's 3 different payment methods there. With the Klarna, you can actually pay in 3, which makes it a lot more accessible and manageable to afford. So hopefully if you started the Emmi-Pet service, you would have made loads and loads of money to pay for your kit so that you weren't even having to worry about you're paying 3 payments, because it was all taken care of, if that makes sense. Oh, I better mention my website as well. It's www.dogtoothfairy.co.uk. So I have all of the Emmi-Pet items on there, and top-up items as well. So toothbrushes and toothpaste and things like that if you need top-up items. It is a lot better than if you order through Germany. And go to Emmi-Pet directly. They have a minimum spend to actually get the goods into the UK. So I think you have to spend £135 with them because of Brexit. So if you order off me, you can get all of your top-up items and there's no minimum spend. If you wanted to, you could just buy a packet of rosewood sticks and for £3.50 and get those sent to you. Whereas if you go through Germany, you have to spend £135. Okay, so these are some results with the Emmi-Pet. So as you can see, amazing before and afters. Some of these is my own work, some of them are my clients' work. But it really is a fantastic bit of kit. And in my career with animals, which is nearly 30-year career now, I know I don't look old enough, but here I am. This is the most revolutionary canine dental health innovation that I've ever come across. So yeah, it is really, really amazing, and I love it, as you can probably tell. And I would just say as well, anybody that wants to buy a package off me or wants to do training off me, just drop me a message anytime. I can go through the packages and what's in them and what the costs are to you all. My support group is called Emmi-Pet Made Simple with the Dog Tooth Fairy. You can all join that community. It is absolutely free. People ask questions in there. My lovely community of people gave answers, and I'm always dropping in there as well to give my responses to questions. What I would always say as well is it's a safe space. It's a nice environment. I don't tolerate any bitchiness or backstabbing in there. So if you are on Facebook and you want to join Emmi-Pet Made Simple with the Dog Tooth Fairy, that's one of my support spaces. If you do training with myself as well, you get an invitation to a private support group, which is just for people that's done my training. So that is something as well for the unlimited aftercare and support side. So I will leave you with that. If anybody wants to ask me about the packages, you can drop me an email. It is all of my contact details are on the bottom there. So my email is thedogtoothfairy@gmail.com. My WhatsApp is 07583 689 366. So thank you for listening and happy brushing.